These guys do not want to eject out. They
No,
are
they don't.
they are
going to
riding
the
it
end,
down to the end. I would have bailed and
Get the hell out of there. So
I'm really rooting for you. I totally don't know how this ends.
No, place your bets now. Hey guys, so I'm here with community manager Abbie Heppe. Hello, Abbie.
Hello.
How are you feeling?
In a little jet lag, but overall feeling good. It's sort of in that crazy week before launch, so that's a thing.
You're alive, which is a positive thing.
The last time we met, I was flying blimp, trying to crash blimps into each other in Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yes, exactly, yeah. That's famous. You're now famous for that.
And it didn't work. I was so bummed.
So we've played about a lot of hours today.
Yep.
And yesterday of Titanfall. We're looking now at I think I'm like level 30 here or something like that. That's like the middle level, isn't it? Top is 50,
you're getting,
correct?
yeah.
And
getting there.
Getting there. It's still a few more hours to get to the top. So this is Last Titan Standing, which I'm usually terrible at. I'm honestly, I'm not great at this moment.
But you have to change your strategy
because you have to stick together, right?
Yeah, I mean sticking together, but also flanking and recovering your shields and really getting out. I mean, what this mode does is it incentivizes you to stay alive as a Titan, and even when you eject as a pilot, I mean you've lost your Titan and you've therefore not helped your team. I'm just, but you can still take out Titans as a pilot, so you still have a value to the battlefield. But you have to think about maybe not rushing in and going crazy and using the shield like you're doing there, and watching your flanks. Obviously, they've come around the top there.
So I found that like you said, there's different ways of going about this. You can either move as a massive pack, which seems to really work if you're picking off one by one. The first round of this, I'm not really doing that well, as you can see. But there's already a player here who's actually just gone off and decided to boat it alone. How well does that kind of work in this mode, to leave your Titan and kind of let it defend itself?
Your Titan will defend itself, but I think you have an advantage staying in. But again, there are some good anti-Titan weapons. You definitely want to eject out and not just explode in your Titan. My preference is to stay in and sort of ride it to the end, because I think you're able to sort of escape quicker and also focus on regenerating your shields.
And I mean, you with the nuclear
detonation. Oh god, that gets real useful.
Yeah. So can you run into a group of 5 of them and then detonate and do some damage that way?
Oh yeah. You could do that. I mean, there's an audio cue. You're not they have a chance to get away from it, but if they're not paying attention, it's a good way.
And imagine if you're in quite a tight knit map. I mean, this map here, I don't know how you describe that area, but it's cylindrical. You can only move
sort of elevatory things.
Yeah. It's really clever. There's some footage later on in this map where it gets you can't get away. If you have a firefight in there, it's really hard to get away because
you have to think about where you're going and where you are yourself, and there's a complexity to that as well that you have to be wary of.
And it just gets really kind of tense because you also have to think about how many dashes you've got as well. That seems like a genuine safety net.
Oh, absolutely, and also who you're fighting, because if you're fighting a Stryder, they're much faster and they can really escape. I was chasing one in an ogre the other day, and I eventually just gave up and went for someone else. It was
So we will get a chance to see the core ability of the Stryder in this footage as well, which is great. Amusingly, there you saw a player just trying to run away from 3 Titans. Something weird happens here. I think we might have lost a player, but we'll skip past this.
Somebody went out for a smoke.
Someone got.
He's in the bathroom.
So what other tactics have you seen in Last Titan Standing that you didn't really expect? Obviously you had the beta. Is there anything you saw out of the beta that you never saw before? Obviously people get around the maps in different ways, right? That you never expected.
There's obviously it's fun because at first it's sort of a clusterfuck because people are trying to figure out I'm allowed to curse on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Go for it. It's the internet.
Excellent. So, because people are sort of, your initial tendency is to rush in because you're so used to playing the other modes, and sometimes you just want to get in the fight, and then you really sort of see, like, towards the end of beta, you see people, like, really formulating strategies and thinking about it, and it gets much more interesting, to watch people figure out how they're going to play it out, especially with all the different abilities you have in the Titans. Beta is a tough one for me because I was so busy working during beta. I wasn't watching people play the whole time. I ended up getting to play about 2 matches myself, although I did play a bunch through alpha. And then as you're unlocking weapons. So this is
the triple threat.
He's burly,
This
the triple threat
incredible.
is really fun.
It's actually one of the cleverest guns I'd say I've seen in a shooter for a while, because actually you forget that these, like, grenades continue firing. Like, you can empty them into a room, and, like, everyone in that room is essentially screwed.
They're great for keeping people away from you.
stuff. Yeah.
And I just love, the detail of the loading and reloading and just the weapons.
And then obviously you realise how big the gun is. So, like, you see. You don't really kind of get that idea.
Oh, good. Somebody got the
got taken out.
The animation for the Stryder picking the pilot out of the cockpit.
And just popping them in half, right?
Yeah.
So actually, I think people watching this is all new, the weapons we're using. So we've got the essentially the triple threat grenade launcher, which fires a spread, and then if you hold left trigger or zoom,
there's an alt fire to it.
Yeah, and then you kind of go up, which is really cool, especially in this. Luckily, we're looking at this this map because you can bounce them off walls and stuff like that. It is essentially
these guys do not want to eject out. They are riding it down to the end. I would have bailed and gotten on your back, but.
And I mean, I think people forget that bailing is actually a really great option. So someone actually has bailed at the start here and left their Titan in auto. So they've gone around with, like, say, the anti-Titan weapons, which are really dangerous.
Yes.
There's a lot of times where if you get, like, attacked by 2 or 3 people firing, the grenade launcher and the sidewinder and the later anti-Titan weapons, it's kind of game. You can't get away. It is a nightmare.
Yeah, one of the goals for the game is, like, you need to be able to take down Titans as a pilot, and you need pilots to be dangerous to Titans to really get the game balance. So
a beautiful moment here. There's something so amazing about just doing that. Like, your Titan gets taken down, but you get to fight another day by jumping on the back of another one.
Tell you something that we saw in beta that was really funny, and I've done a variation of this, and it's so satisfying. But so the Rodeo, like, at the very beginning of Alpha, actually, you could rodeo someone's Titan and they would just take it, and, like, they weren't. And by the end of it, man, people had strategies. Like everybody had figured out, like, okay, now I'm going to get out and I'm going to try to shoot you, but then people would anticipate that, so you'd have, like, 2 pilots, like, jumping out together and then getting in a gun battle. But the one that was really cool, somebody had a video where they got out of their Titan, so the Titan kneels down, and you see the guy rodeoing on the back. But as the guy jumped out of the Titan, he hit the double jump before he hit the ground, and then jump kicked the guy off the back of his Titan, and that was awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, that was some skills.
That's some sick skills. Right now, we just saw those missiles there, which actually I only just point in the game here did I work out how they worked, because I hit right bumper once at one point and fired one missile. Then I realised, oh my word, you can fire like 10, and it's pretty accurate and essentially lethal. If people don't know what it is as well, it will just take people out.
But again, if that person has Vortex shield equipped, they're going to catch those and they're coming right back at you. So that it can be used against you.
It's as the Vortex shield, I think everyone kind of in the beta started using it to bounce off of each other. Like, I had so many fights where just constantly throwing it, and then you have to work.
It's got a limited timer on it, but man, you can get you're like, I got the. Oh no.
And then you just have to work out, like, how am I going to get around this? So there was one time, I swear, I threw them about 5 or 6 times between this guy, and I literally caught them at one point and just threw them away. So I knew there was no more. I was just like, I've had enough.
I've had enough. Like, God, really?
Yeah. Just stop screwing about with
You
me.
should see if you can get like just like all Titans in like a circle, like throwing back and forth. That would be. I feel like there's some fun to be had
I
there.
think we should. Yeah, I think that's something that needs to be
Somebody
done.
during beta did like a choreographed like ballet video where they had all the pilots like hanging on walls, and it was set to classical music. It was so funny.
Oh, genius.
I feel like you're going to see a lot of like really creative
Basketball
stuff done.
games. That's essentially what's going to happen?
Yeah.
So actually, a lovely cue point here. We're actually in the oh, I died. This is the room that I was describing earlier. That's just kind of you can't get away. And my Titan gets taken out, and you hide in that sort of drum bit there, and with like a mag launcher or whatever, you can just because the Titan can hardly see you, and then you get it
I've gotten
distracted.
taken out in that room.
Yeah. You distract the Titan, and then another Titan will hopefully come in and take you out. Now, this is 2-1. This is, this is, this is getting.
This is down to the
this is down the line
wire.
here.
Yeah.
We don't mess about here. We only show you the best footage, obviously. But the other thing that obviously changes up everything, especially in this mode, is switching sides and then completely forgetting what routes you had to take originally.
Yeah.
So now there's actually. You'll see in a minute. There's one area where essentially we keep having a fight over, and luckily I've got this triple threat shot. Here we're going to see in a minute. But I start bouncing the grenades off the wall, and essentially like there's nothing they can do about it really because they don't know where I am, but I can just drop. I'm getting properly stuck in here. And also taking out grunts with this grenade launcher is ideal.
This is so funny. Like I will oftentimes just go to the top and start trying to, as people like you are coming through here and distracting them, we'll start, picking them off from above with a longer range weapon.
Of course, completely forgot. It's completely vertical, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a roof.
Yeah, there's a roof. Like you can go up. I love. There's nothing more satisfying.
Better than that, yeah.
But even there's nothing more satisfying than when a pilot is jumping at you to rodeo you and you just punch him out of midair.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, because I think a lot of
because you know what the other person is feeling.
Yes, exactly. You're like, oh, fair enough, he got me. Do you know what I mean? That's exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
So I'm luring this bloke here. I'm just kind of like, I think, oh, there you go. Yeah, he didn't want to get to see again. Beautiful. There seems to be a really nice sort of bait and switch type element to this game with the wall hanging and stuff like that. There's a lot of people who will just bait you into rooms and then just complete and it's outwitting the opponent, which is so enjoyable. I think.
Absolutely, yeah. It's funny, this mode. Even within the studio, there's people who are just like, oh, I don't want to play Last Titan Standing, and there are people who just thrive on it. But I mean, everybody has their favorite modes in multiplayer. I have really enjoyed Capture the Flag,
right?
On a personal level, because I think having the Titans adds another element into it, and
the jetpacks, I think.
Yes, and I've always been an objective sort of based gamer. I like having like capturing points and flags and stuff is very much more my speed than a classic team deathmatch. Although I have played so much more deathmatch in Titanfall. There's something, for some reason, it really works for me when normally it's not my go-to mode.
And especially you can just having fights with grunts and spectres and stuff like that, and that is a win right there.
Nice.
No, this is 2-2. This could go anywhere.
I'm rooting for you. I'm really rooting for you. I totally don't know how this ends.
No, place your bets now. And also the burn cards, I completely forgot that they carry over. Like they are literally for one life, right? So I think actually at some point in this gameplay I had a burn card for like 2-3 rounds because I actually never got out the Titan and obviously never died. The other nice thing about Titanfall, having captured the flag, we'll look at some other footage of Capture the Flag as well, but that game mode with jetpacks and just getting the traversal is amazing.
Yeah, one of the maps I really like, Rise, has this sort of whole upper area to it that if you can get yourself up there, you can traverse like the entire map, basically running at the ceiling level, and it's a high ceiling, and it's so satisfying to our game director Steve Fukuda calls it vertical flanking, where you're running above and then attacking from the top, and it's satisfying. So
I should have done some vertical flanking here. Stupidly, there's been a hole in the floor. I should have just started. I get involved.
I mean, you have left because you think, yes, I work on this game and I should know every single thing about it. But we were on some map yesterday, and there was just this like sort of pathway that I had never really noticed before. That was like, oh,
that exists.
That makes total sense.
Yeah.
Like that's great. Well, because the maps are big.
Yeah, they are big. And actually, that's an interesting point to ask you. Obviously you've designed these maps for traversal and running around, but there must be parts on the map where you don't expect what people were going to do, like bouncing off them. Like it came a point in the beta when I realised, oh my god, that massive sign, I can run it off that. Like you look at it and think, oh, that's kind of pretty, and then you realise it's actually like a part of the game.
Our designers are meticulous. And obviously because the parkour movement is such a big part of Titanfall, you really want to give players a satisfying amount of walls to run on and things to jump off of and items in the environment to use to their advantage. And the design team spends a lot of time like thinking about angles and escape routes and it's so purposeful.
So are there actually like I don't know what you'd call them, like tracks in each map, like specific lines of that you've set out?
There's always a variation because of gameplay. Yes, there are really cool paths through the environments, but will that benefit you because that's where the other pilots are or not? But the cool thing is, you pick up speed and momentum as you're doing the wall running. Yeah. So you can find ways if you're trying to get across the level really quickly. You can find very cool ways that the designers have put in to do that if you're, skilled in figuring it out and figuring out where to go.
Oh, we actually won. Did I? No, we lost. We lost. I thought I took all them out then. I don't even know how this footage got. This isn't even my footage.
It's not even playing. How did this switch happen?
I don't even know what game this is, and there's I have no idea what's going on.
I love that brief. By the way, I love that brief look at all the Titans jumping.
Yes, I know, all six of you.
If you actually saw that in real life,
you'd be like, oh my
shit.
god.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is, and just you as a pack as well, and it's just kind of it's a bit of a shit up. They know I'm coming.
Yeah, they've clearly anticipated at this point. Like he does this every time.
Yeah, this guy.
I mean, you have to work on changing your strategy sometimes because the people learn. I was playing the other day and I was playing against press and I might have a little bit of knowledge of how to get around some of these maps. Only people from the studio were playing as well, so I thought, oh well, I'm just gonna go take this one path over the roof. I've totally got this, and I get up there and there are 3 people, and I recognize all the tags as people on the reflight team, and it was like, they know my strategy.
They know what you're doing.
Yeah, they had my number.
We should mention that the shield you're seeing is a one-way shield. Is that what they've described it? I think so. You obviously I can shoot through it, and then they can't hit me. So it's actually and look how wide it is as well. So you can place it in this sort of.
You got a Titan to cover, Yeah,
exactly.
That would be so sad.
You
have a Titan shield, but it covers 1 square foot of your Titan body. So.
But it's perfect to stick in sort of gaps.
I would have been flanking you. I mean, I understand what they're trying to do here. Well, I guess somebody.
Now someone's going for it. Yeah.
But if I saw you coming through there every time, I wouldn't be there. I would be behind you.
So I think this is the point when they had enough. I actually got the Stryder ability there, so I'm dashing around like good and proper, but obviously it's a bit hard when
got the whole Titan pack there.
They were coming for me. Now this is another beautiful moment. Is obviously everything about this game is kind of mad, but just holding onto a wall and just kind of shooting to distract enemies while there's other Titans shooting their Titans.
Yeah, I love when people figure that out for the first time.
Yeah.
You can hang on the wall. I was teaching people in alpha. I would get into a level and I would a hard points one. I would jump up on the wall and I would hang there and I would shoot at my friendly players so they looked up and they'd be like,
oh, there's someone up there.
And then you'd be in the next round and you'd see everybody trying it and figuring out how to do it. Because there's some things like that we don't teach you in the tutorial.
Yeah,
it's fun
which
for you
is
to
great.
Sort of discover and learn.
And there's so many players who don't know about it and don't expect it. I think
but when they see you doing it, they figure it out.
Yeah, they figure it out pretty quickly. But I also think it's the general expectation of a shooter, right? So they don't often see people hanging on walls, so they don't expect it in other games.
Yeah, I mean, you have to learn how to play this game. You know,
it's
this is. You know, it has its own challenges, its own, you know, strategies, and stuff that works in other first-person shooters doesn't necessarily work in Titanfall.
Definitely.
Has its own pace as well. It's a really well-paced game. I wouldn't say it's really fast, but it is still fast. But it's not slow. It's
You have to strike a balance between that, and again, like design, you know, really thinks about the way all of these things are done, because you want. You don't want it to be so daunting that a player is going to just be overwhelmed and not have any idea what's going on the map. But at the same time, speed is such an important part of escaping and living longer, and you know, extending your life in game. So you have to strike that balance.
And that was the emotional end to that footage there. I think actually we ended up having to chase after a player who with 50 seconds on the clock, and it kind of just ended in a horrific sort of chase battle sequence. So sadly, that's a loss.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah. We should have sorted that out. Abbie, thanks ever so much for muttering over this last Titan standing gameplay. We're going to take a look at some capture the flag footage as well. So stay subscribed and expect more footage from Titanfall.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Let's capture the flag.
Yeah. Bye.